What's up, fullbellylaughs fam? In this video, I'm going to show you how I unlocked the trifecta. I've gotten my third ranked win with a sloth, and you're going to see how I did it. I've done it in custom ranked and weekly ranked already. You can check out those videos if you want to see how I did it in those formats. I've finally gotten the third ranked format unlocked and beaten, gotten a sloth win in standard pack ranked. All 1v1s, no lobbies. So without further ado, let's get into the game recap here on how exactly I did it. So we're playing Turtle Pack. Our opponent is also playing Turtle Pack. It's the free pack that everyone has available to them, so you don't have to spend any money to play it. And I just prioritize all these buy sell pets off rip and, you know, just get set up hoping to get a level up later. We go with the metal sacks. It's a funny name. I gotta rock it, you know. We are fullbellylaughs after all. So we get going here for the fight. Unfortunately, not enough stats. They get the W on the first round, and it is what it is. Oh well, only one heart. Now our goal, I'm gonna pause here real quick. Our goal, I'll rewind just a hot second. All right, so our goal here is to get level ups. In case you're new to the game, you wanna try and get level ups with a turtle pack going into turn 3, so that way you can see tier 3s 2 turns before you're supposed to see them. There is an argument to take both these pigs, but most of the time, on turn 2, you really shouldn't buy pets you don't already have on your team, because it ultimately, without getting into the math, just costs too much money and it really hurts your odds of finding those triples, finding that 3 of a kind to get your level up. So we're gonna skip the piggy wiggies. We're gonna roll. We find ourselves a duck, so it's like, okay, cool, we're invested in duck. I choose to go with beaver here. This is very important because the mouse is expendable. We can always freeze the free apple it gives us when we sell to help us dig a little bit deeper in case we can't find a duck or a beaver. Because right now we only have 2 gold left. We have no level up, which is really, really bad. We could be very far behind. Considering we've lost turn 1, that could be kind of devastating. So right here, we don't see anything. Right here, we don't see anything again. And I'm gonna do that thing I just talked about. We're gonna freeze the food, because why not? It's a free roll. We're gonna freeze this apple. We're gonna spend our last dollar where the odds are best, and we hit our duck. You know, keep in mind, if we did that on the very next turn, tier 2 is unlocked, and there's no extra pet slot. There's no extra slots in the shop for pets. So if we go here, right, you'll notice there's just as many tier 2 pets as tier 1s, which means our odds get 50% worse to see either that duck or that beaver if we wait one more turn. So I highly recommend, if you're in a similar predicament, when you have a pet just like the mouse, that's why the mouse can be very powerful, sell it, get that extra gold while the odds are ever in your favor, and you could hopefully get as lucky as I did right here and actually find your triple. So we're gonna go into this fight. Not much to talk about here. We're gonna get clapped pretty fast. They actually have 3 units. They have good stats. It is what it is. This is what we signed up for, but we wanted to make sure we didn't fall too far behind. So another thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna buy this duck and we're gonna roll. The reason we're gonna roll is none of these other pets in the shop are really that exciting. You might play them in the right context, but they're not like the top tier pets of their tiers. And it's also a good rule of thumb to just like not buy lower tier pets once the shop levels up. Now that tier 2s are available, they're tier 2 for a reason. They're stronger pets. You should focus on them. Same thing on turn 5, focus on tier 3s. On turn 7, focus on tier 4s, and so on. Obviously, context is everything, but that's a good general rule of thumb to go by. So we're gonna roll because we want to get max value from selling this duck. When we sell the level 2 duck, it's gonna give our whole shop 2 extra health. So ideally, we wanna roll into other pets that will play besides the tier 3 that we'll level up into. So that's the reason I roll. And 2 flamingos is good enough. This is great. Flamingo's an awesome unit. We hit the dodo, which is fantastic. So we're gonna purchase the dodo. Then we're gonna give it the apple, of course, because it loves food, makes its ability even stronger. We're gonna buy a flamingo before we sell beaver in hopes we get lucky. We don't, it's okay. At least one of them hit the dodo. We'll sell this beaver as well to get this other flamingo on the table. I'm expecting to lose this next fight, but it's okay. We are really set up for success. Turn the corner and start really winning a lot of mid-game fights starting on turn 4. So their team, they got a beefy camel, which is very, very scary. We luckily one-shot it, but unfortunately, they have the rat, which just has too many stats. Now, keep in mind, we've lost turn 1, turn 2, and turn 3. But with the regen life system in rank, we're only down 2 turns, right? If we were in turn 4 and turn 5, the game is tied up, right? So even though things seem rocky in the beginning here and we're taking some L's on some rounds, we're setting ourselves up to be very, very powerful later, so that way we can make up that difference we've lost in the beginning of the game. So now it is the magical moment. We hit the sloth. You have no idea how excited I am. I wish I was recording myself live as it happened. I did get my reaction. You'll see that towards the end of this video when the game actually ends. But I've gotten a customs win. I've gotten a weekly win. I've gotten a sloth before in standard ranked 1v1, and I ended up losing. And I couldn't make a video about it because I couldn't get the trifecta. But now we are here. There's a reason why you're watching this, right? So we buy the sloth, and we're set up beautifully for the sloth right here in a lot of ways. One, we have this dodo to give it some attacks, so it's actually like a little bit more powerful unit. 2, we know we're going to be pilling these flamingos, hopefully getting a level 2 and pilling it. So that's another way to get stats to the sloth. I'm a big believer in, if you're going to buy a sloth this early in the game, and it's going to be a pet that's going to stay on your board the rest of the game, you got to make it more than a 1/1, no abilities, right? You got to grow it into like a real unit. So we honestly have like a great supporting cast here to make the sloth shine. So our plan here, hopefully find some pills and a flamingo level up, as well as maybe round out our team with some other cool pets. So we luckily do hit the flamingo, and honestly, there's not that much we're rolling for anymore at this point. You know, with 3 gold, we're not going to magically find 3 more of another pet, especially a tier 2. And they have this giant camel. So you're going to see me reposition here, but I'm actually going to spend the rest of my money on this cupcake, on our big flamingo, because I want to make sure this camel gets one-shotted. That's why we put the dodo behind it too, because it's like any extra stats than triggering once from this camel could spell disasters for us, and we really want to win this turn. Falling behind on this turn would like be kind of rough. Luckily, perfect break points right there with the dodo killing the rat, and we win the round with the sloth, which always feels extra nice, right? So we go into turn 3, and this is a really interesting shot. There's actually double flamingo in shop, no pills. I decide to make a level 2 flamingo with the smaller flamingos. I think in hindsight, this is slightly a mistake. Because I know that I'm going to want to purchase something I level up into. So ideally, I should have half combined a flamingo on the, I should have combined this 3-2 with one of the other flamingos and then leveled up. So maybe make a 5-5 flamingo that's half leveled and then make a level 2 flamingo probably would have been best. I think I lose like some marginal stats here, but is okay. The reason I'm going to go for this and go for all 5 flamingos is kind of like what I talked about earlier. We want to get all these stats onto the sloth. So this is a great way to do that in standard pack. Also, the other thing to think about here too is, let's say we don't buy any of the flamingos in shop. We just combine the 3 that are on our team. We tier up into a, tier 4. We purchase that on our team. Okay, what's the next thing we're doing? Well, we're probably searching for more level ups. Well, we already have a pair in shop, so just buy them now. Just get better stats. Make sure you have like better static flamingos on the board. Now, I will say this bison is very tempting. Okay, the dankness level of our team is about to hit the stratosphere, because if we do find this final flamingo, right, we could have a really cool board of like big flamingo, bison scaling itself, sloth, right? Like it would be pretty bonkers, but we don't have the flamingo yet. And I didn't want to be that board locked this early and not be able to play tech units. So I just go with the deer. We roll once, we find the pill, which is poggers. We just end turn. Again, we keep these 2 huge units up front. So we want to make sure we one-shot that camel. We don't want them to get any extra triggers. Now, unfortunately, they've found some garlics. But luckily, we leveled up into deer, and the spawning bus helps us take down that round win. Like I mentioned, it's now 4-4. We're all tied up. And again, we win that round with the Sloth as the final unit on our team. Feels so good. Now, we do find the final Flamingo opening in shop. Hey, I'll be the first to say it's better to be lucky than good. We didn't have to spend like really any gold at all finding all 6 of these Flamingos all game, which is pretty nuts. Now, granted, you can already say we're high rolling because we found a Sloth, right? It's like 1 in 10,000. So I do want to wait to take this level up. So what I end up doing is I rearrange my team, make sure the stats go in the right units. We're going to pump the Sloth and the Dodo because they're going to stay forever. And then we're going to get this Flamingo on our board, and we're going to take the level up next turn so we can see a tier 5. And since there really isn't anything else I'm rolling for again, similar to turn 4, we just take the garlic right now, and I end up selling the deer because this is like one of the few things I would take immediately. If we rolled into some dodos, I'd freeze roll them in the shop. But this giraffe, I'm willing to take because 1, I think we were lucky to win the previous round, and 2, I want to start growing this Sloth so it's a real unit. So to me, giraffe is like the very next. It's the only tier 3 I'd be willing to sell to make room for it right now to get that value. So we go into this fight. What happens? Well, their team gets even scarier because now they have a giant elephant that even got cupcaked with garlic. This player is hell-bent on winning this round, and I'm really, really happy that we sold for giraffe to invest in the future. Ended up working out beautifully. So now it's time to combine our flamingos. Let's see what we level up to. And we hit literally the perfect level up. Now, some people might auto take cow because it's like, oh, I want to get stats on my Sloth, or oh, I have this garlic dodo, I want stats on my dodo. But look, remember, take a beat, take a breath, right, before you make an action that you're committed to, right? And look at the context of our opponent's team. They're going all in on a hurt strategy, right? They got this big elephant, they got a big camel, they're both garlic. We're even going so deep on the hurt strategy, we have a half-leveled rat, right? Scorpion is gonna tear this opponent a new booty hole, okay? Like, unless they pill a turtle, this Scorpion is gonna go crazy. So we definitely want to take the Scorpion, and that's why I start repositioning right away because I know I'm gonna take it. And now I just want stats, right? Once you get to turn 7, unless you happen to naturally roll into like a pear or something like that, not like the food, but like, let's say there was a dodo or a giraffe in the shop, or there was like 2 skunks or something, right? You would take the 2 skunks and then maybe roll for the level up so you can see a tier 6 on turn 9. But starting from turn 7 on, it's very difficult to roll for a very specific pet. There's just that many pets now in the pool and this many slots in the shop. This is very, very challenging to find any one specific pet. So given that we have some great targets that want to eat food, I'm really prioritizing food right here. And that's another reason why I'm going to buy this can instead of just rolling it down for other units. Because in real talk, right, we're going to pill this flamingo. We're going to sell this giraffe at some point. Hey, our dodo's only level 1. Even though it's the biggest thing we have on the board, I'm not 100% committed to it, right? So at the worst, right, that can is a future salad, right? And there's a chance that it's gonna just be a sushi, right? Because we might end up switching 3 pets on our team. There's a world where our opponent gets a ton of melons and this Scorpion's no good. We get rid of the Scorpion, right? So I think that this can here is a great investment. I forgot I was watching the replay. I tried to hit the end turn button instead of play. Now, lucky for us, our opponent leveled up, and they leveled up into literally the worst unit they possibly could, because they take Armadillo to help their hurt plan, which just lets our Scorpion go pog crazy now that it has extra booty to assassinate even more pets. And luckily we get the break points there with our Flamingo taking down the Peacock, and that was an easy clap victory for us. Now, It's very loud outside. There's a giant motorcycle for some reason. Might make the video. Now, let's think about our team for a second, right? We're definitely going to keep the Scorpion. The Scorpion is fantastic against our team. Gosh, that motorcycle's so loud, so annoying. I do all these reacts in a one take, and it's like, it is what it is. It's now a featured guest on the program. Anyway, the let me know in the comments if you could hear that motorcycle or not. In any case, we got to put some respect on our opponent. Even though at the time of this match, I'm like an 1800, our opponent is like a 1600, let's say. They're gonna be smart enough to sell this armadillo, right? They see that we have Scorpion. There's no way they want to feed our Scorpion, right? So the Scorpion should just kill a unit, right? And unless, you know, they find some kind of sniper or something. But it's not gonna go pog crazy like it did before. And also, there's a very good chance that they'll just put some stupid unit up front to sacrifice to the Scorpion. So not only do we not want it to count on killing multiple things because Armadillo is going to be gone, but we should mix up our positioning to keep our opponent on their toes. So we're going to take this Dodo. Now that we have a half level and we're about to unlock Chocolates next turn, it's definitely worth investing in. We're going to get the pair because we do want to max out our stats here. That way we can make sure we stay ahead of this giant camel and other stuff, right? It's really important that we one-shot these really powerful units and combinations on our opponent's side with the elephant and the camel. So a pair here I think is just insane. The only other thing I would take over pair is Can or a Dodo, right? Like even Giraffe is no good at this point. It's way too late to hunt for that level up, and starting next turn we're just going to replace it with better units. So, and of course Pill. We're looking for Pill so we can get rid of this Flamingo. All right, so we put the Scorp in the third position just to mix things up. And luckily it works out kind of brilliantly for us because the Dodo is going to take care of the camel, and then the Scorpion cleans up and gets rid of the unit that got pumped by the camel a bazillion times. We're ahead 3-2. Now we get another awesome shot. We have another Scorpion, which I'm insta gonna take. But before, we're gonna sushi, get some stats across the board, right? We have multiple great targets. So we roll, we get, it's better to be lucky than good. It's better to be lucky than good. We roll once, insta hit our Dodo, which is crazy. And I freeze this dragon simply because there is a world where we maybe, you know, pill this Flamingo, and if we find a bunch of tier 1s in the shop, it can really help scale our whole team, right? Like save one of the Scorpions, because the other Scorpion would be gone in this scenario. Save one of the Scorpions from getting sniped out of sniper range, right? From just a leopard bought out of shop. 2, make the Sloth an even more real unit. Keep growing its stats. And 3, get exponential value from growing this level 2 Dodo. So it's definitely better than the Gorilla, and I think it's worth just freezing since it's turn 9. And it's not worth saving any of this food. We want to leave stuff like chocolate unlocked. So we put both of the Scorpions up front. So again, we want to mix up positioning. Also, they're not going to expect double Scorpion. So I really love this setup. And luckily, Garlic kind of helps bring it home for sure for us. It's now 3-1. We're 1 round win away from getting the trifecta, from getting the standard ranked win with a 1v1 with a Sloth on our team. We already got the customs. We already got the weekly. Can we get the final ranked format in 1v1s with a Sloth? So I roll. This is, I think, worth revisiting. There's a chocolate in shop. I think it's tempting to hold on to this chocolate, right? Because it's like, it's chocolate, it's so good. But we're not going to make a level 2 Scorpion. We don't really care about making a level 2 Sloth, right? And we already have a level 2 Dodo. We're not going to go for level 3. And this Flamingo we're trying to pill. So this whole shop stinks. We don't even have any tier 1s, right? So just get rid of it. At this point, especially since our opponent is on lethal with 1 heart, we just want to get max value with equipment, with stats from foods, just so we can pressure them and just hopefully get across the finish line. Now, I keep this dragon frozen because there's still an option if we get enough tier 1s that I might use that for a turn to go crazy. But luckily, we find the pill. We find the pill and we have the armadillo. We can give our opponent the nightmare they had on turn 7 when they leveled up into this and we leveled up into a Scorpion. We could bring it home right here. Literal perfect shot. I'm not kidding. So we're going to pill this Flamingo. We're going to get the Armadillo in this situation, and our Scorpions are going to go crazy. Now, I do Flamingo on the Scorpions instead of the Dodo or the Sloth. Why is that? Because I want to make sure, since I know I'm going Armadillo cheese here, I want to give the Scorpions as much health as possible, so that way they can hopefully survive like one attack from some of these other units. Because if you realize, our opponent is heavily invested in health, which makes sense, right? They have this whole elephant camel combo. But if the Armadillo here only adds 8 health, so for example, this 1 power Scorpion can't actually defeat this elephant without dying itself after 1 attack, right? So this Flamingo pill is going to help put them out of range and really set up this Armadillo to do some really nasty work here. So we're going to just set up our repositioning right here, get the Armadillo in, saving for the dragon, because why not? And we just spend our last $3 on this because we know it's going to get extra health from Armadillo. And here we go. So we'll slow it down. Everything gets the extra stats. The camel gets hit, juices up the rat, but boom, assassinated. Next Scorpion comes up, boom, assassinated. And luckily we just have this 23-15 garlic sloth. Oh, there is nothing sweeter than getting a win with this team. It is a hype team, but also the sloth delivering the victory, knocking out our opponent's final pets. And yeah, even though I didn't record this game live, I did record my reaction right as it ended, so that way you can see how many rating points I get and all that. So let's cut to it. This is too juice. All right, let's see how many rating points we get. I don't think we're gonna get a lot. We were much more, we made more rating points than Phantom Adam at the time. But let's see. We'll take 5. Honestly, I would take 1 or 0. That team was so dank. So like, who cares, right? So yeah, there you have it. That was my live reaction to this when it happened, in the moment when I actually got the dub. Hopefully you enjoyed this replay. Hopefully you learned some stuff to help you just rank up and then also get a win when you're playing with a sloth. And yeah, it feels amazing. I got a 1v1 standard ranked win with a sloth. I've now gotten a ranked 1v1 win in every format. Customs, weekly, standard, all with a sloth on my team, all documented for YouTube. So hopefully you've enjoyed the journeys for all 3. If you haven't checked out all 3, check out the other ones. They have some wild and wacky stuff happening in their games as well. And if you want more play-by-plays and replay reacts like this, be sure to subscribe. I have a lot of breakdowns on games I win and games I lose. I keep you on your toes on what I'm doing in each of these matches. So hopefully you enjoyed them. Drop a like if you did. And until next time, happy sapping.